very rarely that we see a significant price decrease from Microsoft, so the fact that they just recently announced a 90% decrease in the processing costs for SharePoint Syntex Autofill is cause for a celebration. And around here, that means giving this feature some exposure in a video. So let's explore Autofill, consider what it can do, and what it can't, how to turn it on, how much it costs, how to make use of it in your SharePoint document libraries, and some ideas about how to integrate it with different parts of your processes. By the end of this video, you'll be ready to accrue those 90% savings. But first, a quick introduction. My name is Nick DeCourcy. I advise owners and leaders of small and medium-sized businesses on achieving more using AI, and I focus on Microsoft 365 Copilot, as well as a range of other AI technologies. If you need help and want to learn more about me and my advisory or coaching services, check out the links down below. With an ever-expanding collection of AI tools, it's easy to forget that the idea of using AI within the context of Microsoft 365 existed long before Copilot and long before agents. And those prior AI toolsets like SharePoint Syntex, of which Autofill Columns are a part, or AI Builder in Power Platform, have continued to evolve and grow in the age of GPT models and copilots. SharePoint Syntex is a collection of value-add data enhancement tools. I'll drop a link below to a previous video I made looking at a number of Syntex features including autofill, but the overview of Syntex is a group of tools designed to allow you to automate the creation or extraction of data related to documents. All the services are sold on a pay-as-you-go basis and activated on or off for your tenant, with the opportunity to restrict this activation to certain SharePoint sites. Autofill columns allow you to create content for a SharePoint column based upon the output of an AI prompt. To the best of my knowledge, these prompts are currently running against GPT-4 Turbo. The billing for this service is per page rather than per prompt, and the 90% decrease means you'll be paying a half-penny per page for processing all the autofill columns you have on a library. For example, this document library is used by a recruiter to manage resumes. She drops a couple in, waits a couple of minutes, and finds Syntex has completed processing these documents and extracted information from them into the columns in the library. This extraction needn't be only text. We can autofill a variety of column types, including choices, and do so using anything from very simple to very complex prompts. While now Microsoft 365 Copilot and its associated stable of tools get all the AI fanfare at Microsoft, I do believe that Syntex features like autofill offer an important opportunity for many organisations as part of an AI or digital transformation strategy. Data quality is at the heart of Copilot adoption success, and what is hidden across the SharePoint estate is something that has kept many IT professionals up at night when thinking about securing Copilot. And it's these data quality and SharePoint storage automation aspects that Syntex is really built for. Jumping back to autofill, the process to set up any of these columns is very straightforward. You can open up the column and take a look at the prompt, and you can test that natural language prompt against any of the documents in the library. And when you're happy that you're getting the output you want, you just save the column, and any new document added to this library will be processed according to that prompt. The prompt you choose, alongside the data type of the column you set up, will determine what you see appear. We can add a collection of autofill columns to a library alongside standard columns if we want to, and when the processing happens, it is billed per page processed rather than per prompt run. This is a different type of billing than we see for something like Copilot agents, where the pay-as-you-go model focuses on the complexity of the AI interaction taking place, rather than the size or number of documents surfaced through those interactions. You can see that in the Microsoft Learn documentation for autofill columns, there are examples given of prompts that are suitable for the different types of columns available. To start from scratch with a new column, we just create the column, set up the autofill, choose a prompt that would appear to work for the type of data we want to extract, test it as necessary to see that it does what's desired, and once you've got it working, just save the column. It's as simple as that. To turn on autofill columns, you access the pay-as-you-go settings under the org settings in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. You have control over both the pay-as-you-go billing account, which must be attached to an Azure subscription, and the options for each of the Syntex services, which can be activated or deactivated individually. On a library-by-library basis, assuming autofill is activated for the site, you can add autofill columns, and then for that library you can determine whether you want your autofill columns to run each time a file is modified, or just when one is added. Bear in mind that each run will add a new pay-as-you-go fee. If you're finding this video useful, it would be great if you'd hit the like button and leave a comment to help it get in front of more interested people. Also, if you'd like to see more like this, please do subscribe to the channel. One of the big problems with the potential for metadata to help us manage SharePoint is that most humans aren't all that good at taking the time to add metadata to their documents to help us understand them. Getting this right is both an adoption issue and a technology issue, and in the age of AI, it could be argued that this is something that humans really shouldn't have to bother with, because we have tools like Autofill that can automate the process of extracting data that fills metadata columns. But if you get metadata practices and other aspects of SharePoint set up right, it can go a long way to help you turn a tornado of random files into truly managed data that helps you manage what you do without wasting time hunting for stuff. And even as we move from doing work in SharePoint to new interfaces for our files like Teams, metadata through document library columns has come along for the ride, adding value from this investment where people are working. However, one of the big chasms that exists in Microsoft 365 right now around the value of these metadata collection strategies in managing content lifecycles is that the other bigger part of Microsoft's AI direction, Microsoft 365 Copilot, cares nothing for SharePoint metadata out of the box. Copilot's access to your files is based upon the indexed content from inside them, not the columns of data you've added around them in libraries. And while you can certainly deploy strategies to make Copilot look at this data, it's not the default approach Microsoft has chosen to take with this product nearly 2 years into its development. But as we look toward the future, AI as a catalyst for proactive automation, rather than just a reactive chat service, seems to be where we're heading. And the less we have eyes on what our AI assistants are doing, the more vital it becomes to ensure we feed them the right contextual data to do an effective job. I think we should see Microsoft Copilot's incompatibility with some best practices around SharePoint file management as a temporary schism that is likely to be quickly corrected in scenarios where we're focused on autonomous AI rather than chatbots. Think about autonomous Copilot agents. These are triggered by Power Automate flows, and we know that Power Automate can help us manage automated processes based on conditions from whatever action triggered a flow. If it's a file creation or updates that trigger work by an agent, then what better way to encapsulate those conditions than with metadata that helps our automated process understand what to do with that change, and only submits that change to a certain agentic autonomous process if specific conditions are met. In this case, tools like Autofill or other parts of Syntex like form data extraction are perfectly complementary to Copilot and can be used to create a data estate that both human workers and AI assistants can maximize their value against. How's your Microsoft 365 Copilot adoption going? Whether you're just working out how to proceed, starting a pilot, or if you're deep into a larger rollout, I can help you get the best from your investment in this exciting technology. My Microsoft 365 Copilot adoption package is just one way to engage with me to support your Copilot adoption. This per-user package that includes all the most common services small and medium-sized businesses need when starting with Copilot is an easy way to get started. But if you need something more custom, I'm happy to work with you to get you exactly what you're looking for. Find out more about my Microsoft 365 Copilot adoption package and other services at the links down in the description. In the coming weeks, I'm going to try to put together a video or two looking at the issue of how to integrate autofill with processes that leverage other parts of Microsoft 365 to deliver more robust end-to-end automation. I may delve into other parts of Syntex too, as increasingly I see scenarios where, for businesses, and particularly the smaller businesses I tend to work with, just focusing on Microsoft 365 Copilot as the AI answer to everything doesn't actually deliver the maximum level of AI automation that a business can benefit from. I'd love to hear your input on this for scenarios where you might already be using combinations of different Microsoft 365 tools for end-to-end AI-supported processes, or ones where you're currently missing that AI part and could benefit from some input on where to go. I can't promise to look at demos focusing on all of these, but I think it would be interesting to get some community involvement in the specific focus of demos in some of my videos here. If you have input to give on this, please leave it down in the comments. Thanks for watching through to the end. Until the next video, bye bye.